Tallinn is the capital and largest city of Estonia. Tallinn occupies an area of 159.2 km2 and has a population of 431,184. It is situated on the northern coast of the country, on the shore of the Gulf of Finland, 80 km south of Helsinki, east of Stockholm and west of Saint Petersburg. Tallinn's Old Town is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It is ranked as a global city and has been listed among the top 10 digital cities in the world. The city was a European Capital of Culture for 2011, along with Turku in Finland. The city was known as Reval from the 13th century until 1917 and again during the Nazi occupation of Estonia from 1941 to 1944. 32.7% of Estonia's total population lives in Tallinn. Toponymy, historical names. In 1154 a town called ʻtælɪn or ʻtælɪn was put on the world map of the Almoravid by the Muslim cartographer Muhammad al-Idrisi, who described it as a small town like a large castle among the towns of Ārstlanda. It has been suggested that the Korean Ārstlanda may have denoted the predecessor town of today's Tallinn. The earliest names of Tallinn include Big Red Castle known from East Slavic chronicles, the name possibly deriving from the Estonian mythical hero Kalev. Up to the 13th century the Scandinavians and Henry of Livonia in his chronicle called the town Lindenese, Lindenese in Danish, Lindana currency S in Swedish, also mentioned as Lidanets in Old East Slavic. According to some theories the name derived from mythical Linda, the wife of Kalev and the mother of Kalevipoeg, who in an Estonian legend carried rocks to her husband's grave that formed the tomb Pia Hill. It has been also suggested that in the context the meaning of Linda in the archaic Estonian language, that is similar to Lidna in Baltic, had the same meaning as Linna or Linn later on meaning a castle or town in English. According to the suggestion Nisa would have had the same meaning as Niemi in an Old Finnish form of the name Kesuniemi. Other than Kesuniemi known ancient historical names of Tallinn in Finnish include Rakurantsi Veli. The Icelandic Njal saga mentions Tallinn and calls it Rafla, which is a variant of the name Raphael. After the Danish conquest in 1219, the town became known in the German, Swedish and Danish languages as Reval. The name originated from Revelia Revala or Rakurantsi Vala, the adjacent ancient name of the surrounding Estonian county. Modern name, the origin of the name Tallinn, is certain to be Estonian, although the original meaning of the name is debated. It is usually thought to be derived from ʻtælɪn or ʻtɑːlɪn, after the Danes built the castle in place of the Estonian stronghold at Lindenese. However, it could also have come from ʻtælɪn, or ʻtælɪn. The element lina, like Germanic burg and Slavic grad/gorod, originally meant fortress, but is used as a suffix in the formation of town names. The previously used official German name Revala was replaced after Estonia became independent in 1918 and 1920. At first both forms Tallinn and Tallinn were used. The United States Board on Geographic Names adopted the form Tallinn between June 1923 and June 1927. The form Tallinn appearing in modern times in Estonian denotes the genitive case of the name, as in Tallinn Riešas a dam. In Russian, the name was spelled th1/2 during the Soviet era, and this spelling is still officially sanctioned by the Russian government, while Estonian authorities use the spelling th1/2 in Russian language publications since the restoration of independence. The form th1/2 is also used in several other languages using the Cyrillic script. Due to the Russian spelling, the form ṭālɪn is sometimes found in international publications. It is also the official form in Spanish. Other variations of modern spellings include Tallinna in Finnish, Tallinna in Latvian and Tallinnas in Lithuanian. History. The first traces of human settlement found in Tallinn's city centre by archaeologists are about 5,000 years old. The comb ceramic pottery found on the site dates to about 3000 BC and corded ware pottery c. 2500 BC. In 1050 the first fortress was built on Tallinn Pier. As an important port for trade between Russia and Scandinavia, it became a target for the expansion of the Teutonic Knights and the Kingdom of Denmark during the period of Northern Crusades in the beginning of the 13th century when Christianity was forcibly imposed on the local population. Danish rule of Tallinn and northern Estonia started in 1219. In 1285 the city, then known as Reval, became the northernmost member of the Hanseatic League, a mercantile and military alliance of German-dominated cities in northern Europe. The Danes sold Reval along with their other land possessions in northern Estonia to the Teutonic Knights in 1346. Medieval Reval enjoyed a strategic position at the crossroads of trade between Western and Northern Europe and Russia. The city, with a population of 8,000, was very well fortified with city walls and 66 defense towers. A weather vane, a figure of an old warrior called Old Thomas, was put on top of the spire of the Tallinn town hall in 1530 that became the symbol for the city. With the start of the Protestant Reformation, the German influence became even stronger as the city was converted to Lutheranism. In 1561 Reval politically became a dominion of Sweden. During the Great Northern War, plague-stricken Tallinn along with Swedish Estonia and Livonia capitulated to Imperial Russia in 1710. But the local self-government institutions retained their cultural and economical autonomy within Imperial Russia as the Governorate of Estonia. The magistracy of Reval was abolished in 1889. The 19th century brought industrialization of the city and the port kept its importance. During the last decades of the century Russification measures became stronger. On February 24, 1918, the Independence Manifesto was proclaimed in Reval, soon to be Tallinn, followed by Imperial German occupation and a war of independence with Russia. On February 2, 1920, the Tartu Peace Treaty was signed with Soviet Russia, wherein Russia acknowledged the independence of the Estonian Republic. Tallinn became the capital of an independent Estonia. After World War II started, Estonia was annexed by the Soviet Union in 1940, and later occupied by Nazi Germany from 1941 to 1944. After the Nazi retreat in 1944, it was again annexed by the USSR. After annexation into the Soviet Union, Tallinn became the capital of the Estonian SSR. During the 1980 Summer Olympics, the sailing events were held at Pirita, northeast of central Tallinn. Many buildings, such as the Ola One Quartum Pier Hotel, the new main post office building, and the Regatta Center, were built for the Olympics. In August 1991 an independent democratic Estonian state was re-established and a period of quick development to a modern European capital ensued. Tallinn became the capital of a de facto independent country once again on August 20, 1991. Tallinn has historically consisted of three parts: the Tomb Pier or Cathedral Hill, which was the seat of the central authority, first the Danish captains, then the contours of the Teutonic Order, and Swedish and Russian governors. It was until 1877 a separate town, the residence of the aristocracy. It is today the seat of the Estonian parliament, government and some embassies and residences. The Old Town, which is the old Hanseatic town, the city of the citizens, was not administratively united with Cathedral Hill until the late 19th century. It was the center of the medieval trade on which it grew prosperous. The Estonian town forms a crescent to the south of the Old Town, where the Estonians came to settle. It was not until the mid-19th century that ethnic Estonians replaced the local Baltic Germans as the majority among the residents of Tallinn. The city of Tallinn has never been razed and pillaged. That was the fate of Tartu, the university town 200 km south, which was pillaged in 1397 by the Teutonic Order. Around 1524 Catholic churches in many towns in Estonia, including Tallinn, were pillaged as part of the Reformational fervor. This occurred throughout Europe. Although extensively bombed by Soviet air forces during the later stages of World War II, much of the medieval Old Town still retains its charm. The Tallinn Old Town became a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site in 1997. At the end of the 15th century a new 159 am high Gothic spire was built for St. Olaf's Church. Between 1549 and 1625 it was the tallest building in the world. After several fires and following rebuilding, its overall height is now 123 am. Geography. Tallinn is situated on the southern coast of the Gulf of Finland, in northwestern Estonia. The largest lake in Tallinn is Lake ʻtælɪn. It is the main source of the city's drinking water. Lake ʻtælɪn is the second largest lake within the borders of Tallinn and its area is 1.6 square kilometers. Tallinn does not lie on a major river. The only significant river in Tallinn is Pirita River in Pirita, a city district counted as a suburb. Historically, the small high-currency Rjapea River flowed from Lake ʻtælɪn through the town into the sea, but the river was diverted for sewage in the 1930s and has since completely disappeared from the cityscape. References to it still remain in the street names ʻtɑːlɪn and Kivisala. A limestone cliff runs through the city. It can be seen at Toompea, Lasnamäe currency and Estangu. However, Toompea is not a part of the cliff, but a separate hill. The highest point in Tallinn, at 64 meters above sea level, is situated in Hõu, now mme district, in the southwest of the city. The length of the coast is 46 kilometers. It comprises three bigger peninsulas, Kopli Peninsula, Paljassaare Peninsula and Kakuma currency Peninsula. Climate. Tallinn has a humid continental climate with warm, mild summers and cold, snowy winters. Winters are cold but mild for its latitude, owing to its coastal location. The average temperature in February, the coldest month, is a 4.3 degrees Celsius. During the winter months, temperatures tend to hover close to the freezing mark, but mild spells of weather can push temperatures above 0 degrees Celsius, occasionally reaching above 5 degrees Celsius, while cold air masses can push temperatures below 18 degrees Celsius. On average, there are 3–6 days where the temperature stays above freezing for the entire day, and there are 6 days where the temperature reaches or drops below 17 degrees Celsius. Snowfall is common during the winter months. Winters are cloudy and are characterized by low amounts of sunshine, ranging from only 0.5 hours of sunshine per day in December to 4.1 hours in March. At the winter solstice, daylight only lasts for 6 hours. Spring starts out cool, with freezing temperatures common in March and April, but gradually becomes warmer in late May when daytime temperatures average 15.2 degrees Celsius, although nighttime temperatures still remain cool, averaging a 1.0 to 5.2 degrees Celsius from March to May. Snowfall is common in March and April but usually stops falling in May. Summers are mild with daytime temperatures hovering around 19 to 21 degrees Celsius and nighttime temperatures averaging between 9.6 to 12.7 degrees Celsius from June to August. The warmest month is usually July, with an average of 17.2 degrees Celsius. Periods of hot weather are rare during the summer months, with only 31 days per year where the temperature reaches or exceeds 21.0 degrees Celsius. During summer, partly cloudy or clear days are common, and it is the sunniest season, ranging from 7.4 hours of sunshine in August to 10.1 hours in June, although precipitation is higher during these months. As a consequence of its high latitude, at the summer solstice, daylight lasts for more than 18 hours and 30 minutes. Fall starts out mild, with a September average of 11.3 degrees Celsius, and increasingly becomes cooler and cloudier towards the end of November. In the early parts of fall, temperatures commonly reach 15 degrees Celsius on some days and at least one day above 21 degrees Celsius in September. In the latter months of fall, freezing temperatures become more common and snowfall can occur. Tallinn receives 618 mm of precipitation annually, which is evenly distributed throughout the year, although March and April are the driest months, averaging about 30 mm, while July and August are the wettest months with 74 mm of precipitation. The average humidity is 81%, ranging from a high of 88% to a low of 69% in May. Tallinn has an average wind speed of 3.5 meters per second, with winters being the windiest in January, and summers being the least windiest at around 2.9 ms in July and August. Extremes range from a 31.1 degrees Celsius in January 1940 to 34.3 degrees Celsius in July 1994. Administrative districts. For local government purposes, Tallinn is subdivided into 8 administrative districts. The district governments are city institutions that fulfill, in the territory of the district, the functions assigned to them by Tallinn legislation and statutes. Each district government is managed by an elder. He or she is appointed by the city government on the nomination of the mayor and after having heard the opinion of the administrative councils. The function of the administrative councils is to recommend, to the city government and commissions of the city council, how the districts should be administered. Population. The registered population of Tallinn is 430,772 as of March 1, 2014. According to Eurostat, in 2004 Tallinn had the largest number of non-EU nationals of all EU member states' capital cities. As of 2009 around 22% of its population are not EU citizens. The dominant and only official language of Tallinn is Estonian, followed closely by Russian. As of 2011, 206,490 speak Estonian as their native language and 192,199 speak Russian as their native language. Other spoken languages include Ukrainian, Belarusian and Finnish. Economy. Tallinn is the financial and business capital of Estonia. The city benefits from the high level of economic freedom, liberal economic policy and has a highly diversified economy with particular strengths in information technology, tourism and logistics. Daily Mail called Tallinn one of world's 7 smartest cities. Currently, over half of the Estonian GDP is created in Tallinn. In 2008, the GDP per capita of Tallinn stood at 172% of the Estonian average. This puts the GDP of Tallinn at 115% of the European Union average, while the overall GDP level of Estonia is 67% of the EU average. Information technology. In addition to long-time functions as seaport and capital city, Tallinn has seen development of an information technology sector. In its December 13, 2005, edition, The New York Times characterized Estonia as a sort of Silicon Valley on the Baltic Sea. One of Tallinn's sister cities is the Silicon Valley town of Los Gatos, California. Skype is one of the best-known of several Estonian startups originating from Tallinn. Many startups originated from the Soviet-era Institute of Cybernetics. In recent years Tallinn has gradually been becoming one of the main IT center of Europe, with CCDCOE of NATO, EU Agency for Large-Scale IT Systems and IT Development Centers of large corporations, such as ttælɪn and Keen+Nagel being based in the city. Smaller startup incubators like Garage 48 and Game Founders have helped to provide support to teams from Estonia and around the world looking for support, development and networking opportunities. Tourism. Tallinn is internationally renowned as a tourist destination, receiving more than 1.5 million visitors annually. The number of visitors has been growing steadily over the past decade. Tallinn Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, as well as other major attractions, such as the Seaplane Harbour of Estonian Maritime Museum, Tallinn Zoo and the Estonian Open Air Museum contribute to the overall success of the city as a travel destination. While most of the visitors come from Europe, Tallinn has become increasingly more popular in recent years for tourists from Russia and Asia-Pacific region, for which a rapid growth is reported. Tallinn Passenger Port is one of the busiest cruise destinations on the Baltic Sea, serving more than 520,000 cruise passengers in year 2013. From year 2011 regular cruise turnarounds in cooperation with Tallinn Airport are organized. Energy. Estonian, the world's biggest oil shale-to-energy company, has its headquarters in Tallinn. The city also hosts the headquarters of ʻtælɪn, a national electric power transmission system operator and member of ENTSOE, the Estonian natural gas company Eesti Gas and energy holding company Alexela Energia, part of Alexela Group. Nord Pool Spot, the largest market for electrical energy in the world, established its local office in Tallinn. Finance. Tallinn is the financial center of Estonia and also a strong economic center in the Scandinavian Baltic region. Many major banks, such as SEB, Swedbank, Nordea, DNB, have their local offices in Tallinn. LHV, an Estonian investment bank, has its corporate headquarters in Tallinn. Tallinn Stock Exchange, part of Nasdaq OMX Group, is the only regulated exchange in Estonia. Logistics, Port of Tallinn is one of the biggest ports in the Baltic Sea region. Old City Harbour is being known as a convenient harbour since the 10th century, but nowadays the cargo operations are shifted to Muuga Cargo Port and Paldiski Southern Port. There is a small fleet of ocean-going trawlers that operate out of Tallinn. Manufacturing sector, Tallinn industries include shipbuilding, machine building, metal processing, electronics, textile manufacturing. BLRT Group has its headquarters and some subsidiaries in Tallinn. Air Maintenance Estonia and AS Aviatic Maintenance, both based in Tallinn Airport, provide MRO services for aircraft, largely expanding their operations in recent years. Food processing, Livico, the maker of Varma Tallinn liqueur, strongly associated with the city, is based in Tallinn. The headquarters of Kalev, a confectionery company and part of the industrial conglomerate Orkla Group, is located in Lehmja, southeast of Tallinn. Retail, the city draws large numbers of shopping tourists from countries within the region. When new planned retail developments are completed, Tallinn will have almost 2 square meters of shopping floor space per inhabitant. As Estonia is already ranked 4th only to Norway, Luxembourg and Sweden in Europe in terms of shopping space per inhabitant, it will further improve the positions of the city as the major center of shopping. Notable headquarters, among others, NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, European Agency for the Operational Management of Large-Scale IT Systems in the area of freedom, security and justice is based in Tallinn. Estonian Air has its headquarters in Tallinn. Skype has its software development center located in Tallinn. Tallinn has its IT development center located in Tallinn. Keenplus Nagel has its IT center located in Tallinn. Ericsson has one of its biggest production facilities in Europe located in Tallinn, focusing on the production of 4G communication devices. Statoil has announced moving the group's financial center to Tallinn. Education. Institutions of higher education and science include, Estonian Academy of Arts, Estonian Academy of Security Sciences, Estonian Academy of Music and Theatre, Estonian Business School, Estonian Maritime Academy, Estonian Evangelical Lutheran Church Institute of Theology, National Institute of Chemical Physics and Biophysics, Tallinn University, Tallinn University of Technology, Tourism. What can arguably be considered to be Tallinn's main attractions are located in the old town of Tallinn, which is easily explored on foot. The eastern parts of the city, notably Pirita and Kadrioru districts, are also popular destinations, and the Estonian Open Air Museum in Rocca al Mare, west of the city, preserves aspects of Estonian rural culture and architecture. Toompea Upper Town. This area was once an almost separate town, heavily fortified, and has always been the seat of whatever power that has ruled Estonia. The hill occupies an easily defensible site overlooking the surrounding districts. The major attractions is the medieval Toompea Castle, the Russian Orthodox Alexander Nevsky Cathedral and the Lutheran St. Mary's Cathedral, also known as the Dome Church. Tallinna Lower Town. This area is one of the best preserved medieval towns in Europe and the authorities are continuing its rehabilitation. Major sites include the Town Hall Square, the City Wall and Towers, as well as a number of medieval churches, including St. Olaf's, St. Nicholas and the Church of the Holy Ghost. Kadrioru. This is 2 kilometers east of the city center and is served by buses and trams. Kadrioru Palace, the former palace of Peter the Great, built just after the Great Northern War, now houses the Foreign Art Department of the Art Museum of Estonia. The presidential residence and the surrounding grounds include formal gardens and woodland. The main building of the Art Museum of Estonia, KUM, was built in 2006 and lies in Kadrioru Park. It houses an encyclopedic collection of Estonian art, including paintings by Carl Timoleon von Neff, Johann Carl Paragrafler, Duard L.A., Jan Koot, Konrad Mark G.I., Duard Weierlt, Henrud and Adamson Eric, among others. Pirita. This coastal district is a further 2 kilometers northeast of Kadrioru. The marina was built for the Moscow Olympics of 1980, and boats can be hired on the Pirita River. 2 kilometers inland are the Botanic Gardens and the Tallinn TV Tower. Transport, city transport. The city operates a system of bus, tram and trolley bus routes to all districts. A flat fare system is used. Payment for single tickets is made either by pre-purchase of tickets at street-side kiosks or by a purchase from the transport vehicle. Monthly cards are available by registering through the National ID card. Starting from January 2013, public transport for citizens registered to live in Tallinn is completely free. That includes buses, trams and trolley buses. Air. The Lennart Meri Tallinn Airport is about 4 kilometers from Town Hall Square. There is a local bus connection between the airport and the edge of the city centre. The nearest railway station ÄTILIN is only 1.5 km from the airport. The construction of the new section of the airport began in 2007 and was finished in summer 2008. There has been a helicopter service to and from Helsinki operated by ʻtælɪn taking 18 minutes to cross the Gulf of Finland. The ʻtælɪn Tallinn terminal is located adjacent to Linna Hall, 5 minutes from the city centre. After a crash near Tallinn in August 2005, service was suspended but restarted in 2008 with a new fleet. The operator cancelled it again in December 2008, on grounds of unprofitability. On February 15, 2010, ʻtælɪn filed for bankruptcy, citing inability to keep the company profitable. In 2011, ʻtælɪn started again operating the Tallinn-Helsinki flights. Ferry. Several ferry operators, Viking Line, Linda Line Express, ʻtælɪ<silence>ukinಯಕ್ Paragraph Line, connect Tallinn to Helsinki, Mariehamn, Stockholm, St. Petersburg. Passenger lines connect Tallinn to Helsinki north of Tallinn, in approximately €3.5 hours by cruiser ferries. Railroad. The ÄTILIN Railway Company operates train services from Tallinn to Tartu, Valga, Taavankoski, Viljandi, Tarpa, Narva, Orava, Quadula and Pār-Kūrnsī. Buses are also available to all these and various other destinations in Estonia, as well as to Saint Petersburg in Russia and Riga, Latvia. The GO Rail Company operates a daily international sleeper train service between Tallinn and Moscow. Tallinn also has a commuter rail service running from Tallinn's main rail station in 2 main directions, east and to several western destinations. These are electrified lines and are used by the ÄTILIN Railroad Company. Stadler Flirt EMU and DMU units are in service since July 2013. The first electrified train service in Tallinn was opened in 1924 from Tallinn to Pār-Kūrnsī Ska 1/4 la, a distance of 11.2 km. The Rail Baltica project, which will link Tallinn with Warsaw via Latvia and Lithuania, will connect Tallinn with the rest of the European rail network. A tunnel has been proposed between Tallinn and Helsinki, though it remains at a planning phase. The Viaduct Baltica motorway connects Tallinn to the Lithuanian-Polish border through Latvia. Frequent and affordable long-distance bus routes connect Tallinn with other parts of Estonia. On October 9, 2013, the 320-meter-long ÄTILIN tunnel was first opened. International relations. Twin towns are Euro-sister cities. Tallinn participates in international town twinning schemes to foster good international relations. Partners include, see also, Eurovision Song Contest 2002, Legends of Tallinn, Soviet evacuation of Tallinn 1941, Tallinn Marathon, references. External links. Tallinn Travel Guide from Wikivoyage, media related to Tallinn at Wikimedia Commons, the website of the City of Tallinn, Panoramas of Tallinn Old Town, 3D model of Tallinn Old Town, historical footage of Tallinn, 1920, film portal Tallinn at DMOZ.